For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Shane Brown Show. Today, joined by special guest, Wheeling University assistant wrestling coach Willie Saxton, as Shane is currently recovering from an appendectomy. We wish him the best. But Willie, you guys got an MEC Championship here on Saturday to prepare for. Talk about the preparation for this event and how it's been going.
It's been going pretty good. We've been preparing ourselves for this conference tournament for a while. A lot of drilling, a lot of live just to get our lungs back up to normal, and just getting ready for this conference tournament. It's a tough tournament for us. 8 teams. We have 2 guys seated 4th right now in Caden Canning and Jake Powell. So big things from those guys, and looking for some upsets with the other 2 that are wrestling, Brian and Finsley. So hopefully we pull off some big wins there and get some guys on the podium.
And looking at the last time out, another strong showing at the Purple Raider Open to open the 2024 portion of your schedule. Talk a little bit about what you saw there and kind of how the guys are kind of continually growing throughout the year.
We did see a lot of growth in our wrestlers, especially on the bottom game. We were exploding up on bottom, getting out, and our feet game was a lot better than it was at the beginning of the year. So we have improved tremendously in all aspects of our wrestling. Now it's the mental preparation of getting ready for the conference tournament, for the big grind there, and set forth our time for regionals that's coming up at the end of February.
And you obviously had the week off between that Purple Raider Open and the MEC Championship. How'd you kind of use that week to build off your growth from that Purple Raider Open and get ready for this event?
We used a little bit of just working on our basics and working on the things that we still needed to work on, exploding on bottom, riding on top, just grinding out the mental toughness of just letting our bodies relax and get back to normal, the soreness out, so that way for our conference tournament this weekend, we can go out there and just give everything we got and come out with some good placers and show people that Wheeling is back and we're ready to go.
And looking at the 4 guys who are going to wrestle, we're going to look at each of them here, starting with Brian Cravar in the 165-pound weight class. Freshman who's battled hard throughout the year, might not have the record he wants, but has fought hard in every match. Talk about him and kind of his growth throughout the season. Brian's
come a long way. Yeah, as a freshman coming in, it is very difficult for a freshman to come in and wrestle at any collegiate level, whether it's D1, D2, D3. It's very difficult. I know a lot of freshmen, including myself, when I went to Mizzou, I redshirted. I enjoyed my time. He came out and he's been wrestling very, very strong for us, and he's had a exceptional year as a true freshman. So I'm looking forward to what he does at conference and going forward.
And also in that boat, in the 197-pound weight class, Alex Finsley coming out. He got the win in the opening dual meet against Frostburg State and kind of kept growing throughout the year. Talk about him and kind of how he's been working through.
He's been doing very well. He's, some growing pains at 184. He finally bumped up to 197 where he feels stronger, and I feel like that will be his placement for the rest of the year, where he's going to be more confident in himself, and his growth has been great as well, coming in a very, very tough weight class. At 184, 187 as a true freshman is very difficult for anybody to come by, and he does a great job with just battling through every match he has and doesn't stop and doesn't give up, and he's been doing great for us. So looking for big things for him in the future.
Currently joined by Wheeling University assistant wrestling coach Willie Saxton. And Willie, getting into the 2 4th seeds that we talked about, first with Caden Canning. He's been a staple of this program over the last 2 years, already at his win total from last season. Talk about him and how his experience in this event last year is going to help him as he goes into this year.
Him taking 4th last year at this tournament is going to be a great thing for him. He knows the grind. His conditioning, his gas tank is amazing. He does not stop. He does not give up on absolutely anything. So his mental toughness there with this tournament is going to be there. So he'll be experienced and ready to go. He was at 133 earlier in the year. He lost a very, very close one to a kid ranked 6th in the country in overtime at 133. So now he's back up to 141, where he will stay for the rest of the year and be very, very confident in himself. And he's not cutting as much weight. So now he's going to be really ready to go. He looked very, very good at the Purple Raider Open. So we're big things for Caden.
And finally, a guy we've talked about all year long, Jake Powell. He's had a ton of success, made the quarterfinal rounds a ton of times. Talk about him and how he's kind of looking to get back to that top stage here in the 285-pound weight class in the conference.
Jake wrestles very, very well. His mental toughness is great. He does not give up. His conditioning is good. He grinds, and this will be a good test for him with, wrestling the top seed from West Lib, which I think we can pull a big upset on there with him being so strong and just the mental game. That's the big thing in wrestling is the mental game. If your mental toughness is good, you can overcome almost anything. And Jake has that mental toughness. We're looking for great things for Jake, and look out to have him on the podium along with Caden and the other two.
And you guys have gone through the season. You've seen some of these guys you're about to wrestle, some of the guys from Notre Dame, West Liberty, Glenville. Having seen these guys, what does that do for you, having seen them once, to kind of continue that success here?
Seeing them once, now we get to study how they wrestle and look at some films that we do have and study how their movements is on their feet, how they move on top, how they move on bottom, which gives us a little bit of an edge of how we can study ways to beat their opponents. So with us looking at film, seeing the mistakes that we did, we can correct those mistakes early on and change their style just a little bit to overcome those losses that they did have earlier in the year with some of these guys.
And finally, talk about some of your keys to success for your team here as you guys try to up the team score and get some guys on the podium.
Just grind it out, conditioning, mental toughness. A lot of close matches will happen this weekend, so we got to be prepared to win those tough battles, and whoever has the most heart and determination to overcome those close matches is going to become on top. So those guys will have it, and they will be ready to go.
Thanks, Willie. Good luck on Saturday. Can't wait to see you out there.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.